Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to a unexpected video from the Thrift Store Prepper. And normally we don't put out videos on more than one day a week, and this is a little bit of an exception, and it's a little bit of an update and on the Dollarama bug out bag that I just started this week. Now it's a kind of a little project that I dived into while I was at the Dollarama. I was going there to get other things and discovered that they had some of the spring and summer items making their ways to the shelf, and they had some pretty decent and cool items that I picked up that went into the bug out bag video that you may or may not watched, and only 13 of you have watched it at this point, so I guess not many of you will know what I'm talking about if you're watching this and haven't watched that video. But we built a little Dollarama bug out bag, mostly for novelty purposes. We're not really actually going to hope that we're going to depend on this to save our life, but rather hastily and randomly, like the thought process behind the bug out bag build in the video that I kind of invented while I was at the Dollarama and come home and threw myself into. We stuffed the bag during the video in one take and didn't really put too much thought into it, and the bag was a little bit bulging, and we had a couple of items that were kind of cumbersome and taking up vital space. Now there were a couple of comments on that video already from my favorite subscriber Gibson Girl, who always gives me some good feedback and comments on my video, mentioned why didn't I take the travel wipes out and put them in a Mylar bag to save space. And you know how much the Thrift Store Prepper likes his Mylar bags, so can't believe I didn't think of this. But as it happens, they were already in a Mylar bag, so I've took those out, and that saved me some space. And in the spirit of the Thrift Store Prepper, we're going to save that and possibly be able to use that for something else. And the other thing I did take out was the rubbing alcohol, and reason being, there's probably room to fit it in, but we have two bottles rather of the hand sanitizer, which is pretty much the same, so we don't necessarily need this as well as that. And we're trying to keep it lightweight and small, and as you can see, it's quite compact and no longer bulging the way it did. So what I did is made some amendments. I took everything out again and had a little look at it and put some thought into it and divided it into compartments. So at the back now, where we just kind of stuff in willy-nilly, what we kind of have now, if I bring the camera up, that here are our wet wipes. We took them out of the packet and we'll take them out. You can see they're in their own little Mylar bag that was inside the cumbersome container. So by taking those out of the box, we saved some space, and they tuck nicely down into that corner. I stuffed the lighter that I couldn't find before. If you watched the live feed, you may have seen that I found it, so that's gone in there. Actually put it that way around, it's a little bit more sturdy and secure. The matches still don't have any matches in it, but that's remained where it was. In the top there, I put my little foldable water filter, so that gives me a source of water. In the basket below, I put the bowl. I'm not going to get everything out because it's going to be time consuming putting it all in. In the little package at the back there was a zipper compartment, is actually keeping space blankets. I'll just open it to show you. And I managed to get the 4 in there that squeeze and squash up nice. And I don't know if I mentioned it. If I did, sorry if I'm repeating myself, but this little pouch here fit the first aid kit that we built with a Mylar bag perfectly. So taking Gibson's Girl's advice and taking the wet wipes out, we've certainly been able to save some space, and these squished down a little bit more. So the reason behind that is my first aid, my sanitation, my water, and my bowl is all in the back of the bag. And if you can remember the last time we zipped it up, it was a little bit difficult, and it might be kind of hard getting around this last bit because it is bulky, but we can squash I believe it did it before. It can do it again, but we're getting there. once the zip's on, it does hold in place quite well. And it is, again, the wet wipes that I said were no longer a problem, causing the problem. I think I may have had them in the other way around. There we are, we got there in the end. So what I did is we've tucked the strap underneath the main flap at the front. We've still got the little flashlight there, and it still works. Sorry if I blinded you. We've still got our little knife there, and guess what? I figured how to open it. It wasn't very difficult at all. And I think what it was the plastic knife guard was actually causing it to get stuck, and it's still kind of jammed in there. There we are. That was causing it not to open. So we've taken that off and just fold that down to close it, and that fits nicely on hand there. In the side compartment, the poncho still, we might look to upgrade the poncho because it's not a very good one. It was the cheapest one they had. And with what we have in here, I'm not going to get it out. Let me put it actually like that. You can see inside now. It doesn't open up very well, so I'll take a couple of items out. We've got the fire lighters, and we've got one of the hand sanitizers that we're also going to use as a fire lighter, and I may even be able to tuck that down the side at some point. I got our little digging tool here that we picked up, and down in there, if you can see, we have the candle and the fire sticks. I've got my tent there and the tent pegs, and shoved at the very bottom is the cordage that we've got, which is only 15 meters. But as you can see, what did I take out? Something? Nothing? I don't really know. But as you can see, that's made everything a little bit more. And yeah, we can tuck that right down there, put that in, and you know what, we could even still fit the alcohol in. I don't think that's going to take up that much room. And again, you can see how much easier, actually you can't, but that zips up nicely. And once again, I'm going to take the strap, and so I just had a little falling down over there, the lucky baby. Put the strap back like this, out of the way, fold that over, and that's it. A lot more compact, not so bulging, and we've managed to get everything that we purchased in the bag with not too much room to spare. Now, another comment that was made that the tent that I did buy was a little bit flimsy, and again, I kind of bought it because it was the cheapest one, and the suggestion that maybe that I should have got a bigger and better tarp. Well, another purpose for this reason is it actually gives me 2 bug out bag videos in a second part to the bug out build, and we are going to be continuing with this for a little while. I don't know how long or how carried away I'm going to get with this little project, but as you can see, we've got a nice little contained unit. It's got some shoulder, some cordage going, and that was my battery notification going to say I'm down to 15%. So I lost my train of thought with that noise. So recapping, we have some shoulder, we got some sleeping not sleeping bags, we have the space blankets that are going to give us something to wrap ourselves up. We've got a very flimsy tent and a bit of rope that we'll be able to knock a crude tent up. We've got a container to carry water, we've got a bowl to carry water, and we've got a very crude basic first aid kit for scrapes and cuts and maybe not that much else. So it's a very basic novelty bag rather than an actual bag. But I am going to be finishing the video very shortly, but I'm going to do a little bit of a teaser and see if this works. Coming in the next bug out big video, I'm going to introduce you to a new member of the thrift store prepper family, And that's the Scavellini free backpack. That's right, we're gonna upgrade the bug out bag to the Scavellini, and as you can see, we've got another empty bag that I had lying around at home, and this was actually something that was passed on to me by a roommate who was doing some job or promotional gig for Scavellini, which I believe are a kitchen company. They make fancy kitchens for rich people, so nothing I'm going to be able to afford it, but I do happen to have a Scavellini backpack. It's not very heavy duty, but it's pretty durable. It's got some space, and what happens is the Swiss Dollarama bag fits nicely in the back, and we've got all this room to fill with other things. So I don't know if that's teased you, whet the appetite to watch you anymore, or given you the reason to unsubscribe and never watch a video again. But the bug out bag project is going to continue, and just like the micro pantry build, we're going to be building this until the bag is full as it can be, or until we can't buy any more items to fit in it. So whichever comes first, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling now. So that's my bug out bag modification and update video, and be sure to tune in for part 3 of the bug out bag build, where we add things to the Scavellini backpack. This has been a ship video production for the Thrift Store Prepper. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.